We are starting today's video out quite a bit different than usual, guys. We have a science experiment going on. Let's do it. All right, guys, so here is what we have going on. In our last video, we had a few comments talking about gravel at the bottom of our hose spigot. So we did this science experiment to see if the soil underneath this spigot will drain water, and it does not, guys. It does not as fast as I thought it was. So let me just back up really quick. When we put this spigot in, we dug down about 4 feet. So this is buried 4 feet down, and at the bottom there's a little weep hole that drains the water out of this spigot when you're done using it. So in the wintertime, there's no water sitting in this standpipe and it doesn't freeze. It drains all the water back to the bottom. You need to have good soil for that water to drain in. And Liz and I know that. We've put these spigots in before. We have these spigots all over our property. What we quickly overlooked when we reburied this spigot, I guess we didn't even really overlook it. The type of soil we have here is this really sandy type stuff here. And actually the reason I saved this bucket of it is because there's little shiny flakes of something in here. So I want to run a gold pan through that to see what it is. But this sand does not drain the water as fast as I thought it would, honestly, guys. So you were right. I thought that this sand would really let the water drain. We did a few tests once we reburied this, but obviously it's not compacted to what it will be over the next coming years. So we are going to dig this back up. Shouldn't be too hard. I'm just going to do it by hand. We have some rock we're going to put in the bottom to let it drain. Still pretty soft. That's good. There we are. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I've left some of the dirt here holding this spigot up. I'm just going to wire the spigot to the fence for now to keep it upright. Dig out this dirt that's holding the spigot there right now. Get some gravel. The reason we didn't put gravel here initially, guys, well, one, is because we thought that this sandy soil was going to drain, and two, I didn't think we had any gravel. I didn't want to use this dirty gravel that we have. It has dirt mixed in with it. So I was worried about that not draining, and I really did think that this sand was going to drain. And then, you know, hindsight, we do have like these bags of marble gravel that I bought years ago for using on the driveway if it got icy, and we still have a few bags left, I think. So yeah, we're going to use that. So we got everything exposed here. This is the spigot. And I just wanted to show you guys how it works. Down in the bottom here, I'm gonna turn the spigot on. Water's gonna come out of the top, and then when I shut the spigot off, there's a little weep hole in the bottom there that water is going to squirt out of, and that is how this whole thing drains here. That's how this thing drains. All right, guys, all in all, start to finish, that was about a half an hour project, about 32 minutes. I just went back and looked at all the footage. And before I started this crazy homesteading adventure, you know, I had regular blue collar jobs, a lot of them in the production type line, but not like your standard production line, I guess. But still a production line nonetheless. You know, we used to weld big panels for big incinerators, big steel panels, you know, 10 by 10 panels, and fill them with concrete. So we're, you know, it was production. We had timelines, and throughout those different types of work, I learned that efficiency is key. And obviously doing projects twice is not efficient. So that was a 30-minute mistake out of my day to get this right. You know, another thing that I learned in those lines of work is to just own up to a mistake right away. Don't put it off for a later date. So when you make a mistake, just own it, make it right, and get it done. And that's what we did today. So we also put this post in right next to it. I saw a few guys were saying in the comments that you could add a post for support. I've seen that around. I've never tried it. I've always seen that the post kind of rots off somewhere down there, whether it be metal or wood, because this is constantly getting wet right there. So we'll see. This is a chunk of cedar. Hopefully it lasts a long time. I don't know what's on the docket next for the day, but let's roll right into it. We're gonna get these sheep out to the new pasture over there. The easiest way to do that is to tease them a little bit. Some chicken food. Another easier way. Sorry, Mr. Jed. Hey, come on. They're really, really skittish around him. Get in here. Come on. Good boy. He knows the drill. He doesn't chase them or anything, but he makes them just really skittish. Even just, you know, being in sight of them. So, yeah, it's easier to put them away. Get these ladies out. Come on. Get this closed. They know the drill. Come on this way. Good girls. Get this fence turned on. Make sure we're clicking. You guys can't see that. Maybe you could have heard it, but it's clicking. So this is a pretty good pasture for these 3 lambs. We have some, you know, new shrubbery coming up down in here. Everything is just starting to really get to a height where it could be edible for these girls all throughout this hillside. What Liz and I's hope is that they knock down a lot of this old dead stuff. Believe it or not, a lot of this hillside is noxious weed. It's tansy. It's an invasive species. So our hope is that they kind of knock it down, and it'll be really good right now because it's in the early stages. All this brown stuff, guys, is completely dead. That's from last year. This plant does not come back, you know, to those old stalks. It grows a new stalk every year. So if we can get these sheep to start eating on this stuff while it's still nice and small like this, since they're getting to the younger stuff, it's never going to have the chance to grow up tall into this nasty looking kind of hillside. And what we're really hoping is that one day this will be just like a nice green grassy hillside. We'll head back and get the ram out. We got a train going by. If you guys saw our episode of Homestead Rescue where the Rainies came in and helped us with some huge projects, specifically the retaining wall up by the house, they had the train blowing a whistle every time it went by our property. It never blows a horn when it's going by our property. Like, hardly ever. I've heard it maybe one time since we lived here in the last 3 years. It really never blows the horn. So that horn noise in that episode was very much superimposed. We got all the farm noises back here, kind of your non-conventional with the train in the background. A really cool thing they did was put the container here, so it kind of matches its setting at least. But yeah, kind of one of those things that's kind of funny. There's definitely some TV that goes into stuff like that. We're in here in our like main pasture right by the barn. Gonna let the ram out. We've been keeping him penned up in here when the ewes are in here because we don't want him messing with the ewes at all right now. So yeah, we'll let him out into this bigger enclosure while we pasture those girls over there. This ram, unfortunately, is a ram that you do not want to turn your back to. Nice enough guy, but very rambunctious, I guess. So gets a little excited sometimes. I think he gets a little irritated at Liz and I, but seems to be nice enough. You can see him kind of bobbing his head there, backing up like he wants to charge me. I never grew up with farm animals like this. The chickens I've only had for, you know, maybe going on 6 years now, and I've never had these bigger type of livestock animals, even though sheep is still pretty small livestock. Kind of learning process for sure. Seems to be going good. I like the lambs, I like the sheep, especially since we got 2 separate pastures. Hi, Mr. Jed. Hi. Hi. Throw the lid back on so the mice, you can tell, even him just walking by all happy makes them real nervous. They just keep an eye on him. That's why we needed a good sheepdog. Heard you ladies around. Now, Liz and I have some wood chips that we chipped a week ago or so. And I want to put those in the pen inside the enclosure here, guys, because this little lamb that we just bought, we bought a second ewe. It'd be our third, well, technically our 4th lamb in total. But the ewe that we just bought is pregnant. So we want this pen back here to be pretty much ready for her to go once she is good to go in there. Why are you trying to eat that? Got everybody in. Just starting to rain. All right, everybody. Next morning, down here, we're gonna work on some more fencing this morning. I think what I want to try to do is split this bigger pasture that's connected to the barn back here. I want to split that in half so we can keep the ram on half of that and give him like a bigger pasture. That's what I need right there, fence post pounder. But yeah, so I want to split this, give him a bigger pasture, probably put a gate there so we can get in and out of it. That would help. And then we're gonna need to support the post because I think I'm just gonna use these, I'm gonna pound T-posts in and I'm gonna run this wire that we used on the pasture behind us. And then I'm just gonna connect that wire to the top wire on this fence that surrounds all this. So that wire will be hot, and it just being wire fence, a hot wire fence should keep them back. So let's do it. We got this post pounded in, guys. These other two T-posts pounded in. So the next step is to put the clips onto both the poles. So since one of them is a wood pole and one of them is a metal pole, there are two different types of just insulators to clip them to the fence. And we're gonna do that on both sides. I'm gonna go on the outside right now, pound a T-post in over there to connect a wire to the top of that to pull that tight so we can tighten the fence up against this one here. I'm hoping that this one should stay enough to tighten it pretty tight off of that because that is deep. We went about 3 feet down. And then we're also gonna hang a gate off of this side going right here. We need to build a gate. This is about a 6 foot opening. So it'll be 6.5 foot gate that we're gonna build somewhere in there. Yeah, so we'll see. I guess we could always, I just thought this, so we could also just cut this and connect. That's what we'll do. We'll cut this at the same height as that and just run something across it so it has more support to the other pole. Then we can definitely tighten it. Yeah, cool.
Okay, that, do we want to measure it or are you just going to go for it and then?
Just hold the level up, please. Set the level right there and hold it level. We'll just set it up on this side and this overhangs. We'll just cut the end off. I think that's fine, right?
Yeah, I think this is plenty sturdy enough.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and hook, yeah, hook it as you go. There we go. Hang on. Yep, there you go. Pull that tight. Yep.
Okay guys, the wires are ran for the fence here. I think that looks pretty good. We should be getting pretty good at building gates now, so let's see how this goes.
Okay, let go. Please. That'll work. Perfect. That way? No. All right, guys, so check out what we got. Really nice gate. Got the wire fence all strung up, turned on, and the ram in his new ram pasture. He already learned that these wires are spicy, so he does not like it. He should be doing good. He's munching on some hay. He is happy. There's a couple areas that are starting to green up in here, so he's gonna be doing really well. We got the water over there for them. I don't know if the chickens are getting shocked by the fence here, which I don't mind if they're not. They can come through, but I've noticed most of them are going through the gate, so maybe sometimes they get shocked going underneath that. But yeah, hopefully this fence keeps him in, does a good job. That now frees up this small pen for when the mama, which is all the way over there in that pasture, the younger mama, we're gonna put her in here when she is a little closer to giving birth.
Yeah, we think maybe like 2 or 3 weeks from now. So this is a really nice setup. Got the eggs. The egg drought of this year is officially over. I think all of our hens are laying, which means that they're happy, so that makes us happy.
So it's really cool trying to be organized with these animals, and I think we got it. Like, we're doing pretty decent.
I think so too.
Yeah, we do have some meat chickens on order, so we do need to figure out just one more little pasture for them and try to lock down where we're going to be putting them for sure.
Yeah, the meat chickens are a little tricky. They do need a lot of space, especially when they're young. You have to like clean their pens a lot, so that's going to be something that we have to think about here really soon. But we'll get it.
Yeah, I'm glad that we got the sheep all organized. So right now, as far as sheep go, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different spots where we can put these sheep.
No, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's working out really good. And everybody seems to be staying in. We've only had a few incidences where sheep have got out. But yeah, all in all, doing pretty good so far. We're excited to share that new baby with you guys once it comes.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, super cool. So we appreciate you guys watching. If you want to know how we've made it up to this point in time, we have picked out this video for you right here, or this is the other one right here.
And we will see you guys in the next one.